Hello, everyone. Good morning to viewers from India, and good evening to my friends from USA. So today we are starting our first session of Azure Associate Administrator Associate session. Today's session is little bit different. What I planned is like I will start with little bit fundamentals, Azure fundamentals, so that if you are new to Azure, you know some fundamentals. And then we will go into Azure Administrator Associate fundamentals. So the, this session is broken into two parts. First, we in fundamentals we will discuss a little bit about what is Azure, what are the benefits of deploying applications on Azure, and what are the different models. Then, as the administrator, you have to do a lot of administration job, and we will be talking about scripts. We will be talking about Bash script, and we will be talking about PowerShell scripts. So there are some exercises I will be doing. Hopefully, I'm able to access Azure Sandbox. Worst case, I have some videos which I'll share those videos. So let's start with our fundamentals. So first we'll discuss what is Azure cloud computing. So like Aditya and Karan was with me before. They know a lot about Azure. Uh, Karan, you know about Azure? You have ideas about Azure?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I know of it, but I've not used it. I actually finished my IT network last year,
Wow.
so I'm familiar with it. Yes.
Okay. Amazing. So good that we can go through then fast through it. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing, will be using Microsoft course, and Microsoft course defines cloud computing is delivery of computing services over the internet. Computing services include common IT infrastructure such as virtual machines, storage, database, and networking. Cloud services also expand the traditional IT offerings to include things like Internet of Things, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Because cloud computing uses the internet to deliver these services, it doesn't have to be constrained by physical infrastructures the same way a traditional data center is. We'll go a little bit more in details. Next, it talks about shared responsibility model. So, what is shared responsibility model? So, as we discussed, like you can deploy your computers over the cloud with Microsoft or third party cloud vendor. So first thing is how we started computing. Everybody was keeping servers on their premises. So when you say this is the interesting model, so here it's showing what is the responsibility, and is it the responsibility of this particular task under this service? Does it belong to Microsoft or customer, or this responsibility shared between Microsoft and customer? So whenever you see these kind of squares with two colors, that means the responsibility is shared between Microsoft and customers. Customers is people like us who are using Azure services. So this grid is very interesting. So it defines what are the different service model. So SaaS stands for Software as a Service, Platform as a Service, Infrastructure as a Services. So we can start from there. When you have whole IT infrastructure, you need to have databases. So you need networks, physical networks. You need hosts. You need operating systems. You need network controls. You have applications which are catering to different business needs. You need some kind of identity infrastructure to give access to all the people. You need to have accounts for your employees and customers, and you need to have identity for them. Then you need to provide devices to your employees so that they can use applications over the internet, and which may be using servers and the data centers. And then you have the data. So on premises, all the responsibility is with you. You are in charge, you are in total control, but you have to buy the servers. There is a lot of capital cost. We'll talk about capital cost and operational cost a little bit later. So let's look into uh, infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service, you are doing everything. Only thing is, you have given data centers, you have moved your servers to the Microsoft or other cloud provider, and you are maintaining all the network identities, application. So just you have moved servers to Microsoft. Rest of you are managing. With platform as a services, not only you have moved the databases, operating system also to Microsoft. So you are not responsible for deploying the patches. Microsoft will take care of applying all the security patches and latest patches on the operating system. So this is a shared responsibility in platform as a service. You and Microsoft are responsible for applications. You may have your own applications. You may use some applications from the Microsoft, like Office 365. And software as a service is basically you give responsibility everything to third-party cloud like Microsoft, and you are just maintaining some devices, the computers you have given to employees. You are responsible for your information and data. You are managing the accounts, and rest of thing has gone to Microsoft. So this is a big overview of Azure and what kind of different shared responsibility models are there. So cloud models. So there are different type of clouds. There's a private cloud. So private cloud is you have set up your own cloud and you are responsible for everything. So chances are that you will work for some third parties, so they may set up a exclusive cloud for you. So here you have the whole control. Then there's a public cloud. Public cloud is you are using Microsoft Azure to deploy your applications on their premises. Here shared responsibility comes into the picture. Then there's a hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud, you have your personal cloud plus public cloud. You have the maximum control, and basically you can decide yourself which applications you're going to put in private cloud and which applications you're going to put in public cloud. And there's a multi-cloud. In multi-cloud, you use not only Microsoft, you use Amazon also. You use all the third parties. And Azure VMware solution is interesting. If you have your applications are VMware and you just want to move your VMs to cloud, so they provide you a solution. So next we will talk about Azure consumption based model. So there are two kind of expenses: capital expenditure and operational expenditure. Capital expenditure is when you set up your infrastructure, you need to set up servers, databases, network. So you're spending million of dollars. The operation cost is what is the cost you have to spend on your IT services to be up every month, every year. So most of the cloud offers consumption based model. The benefit of this is you don't have to buy expensive servers, no capital cost. You don't have to spend $1 million to start your IT. You can use a consumption model, and you can just pay. It's just renting. Instead of buying a house, you are renting it, and you don't pay the whole house price. You just give $1 million. You just pay $3,000 rent to the owner. So this way you don't have to spend so many $1 million. So that finishes basically cloud, Azure cloud fundamentals. So next question is why we need to go to the Azure. What is the benefit of going to the cloud? High availability. So the first benefit of using Azure is your applications can be highly available because when you're deploying your applications on cloud, the benefit of them is that they could be deploying the servers in multiple regions or different geographical locations. One data center can be in India, one data center can be in USA, and something happens, some disaster happens, you can switch your IT servers to different region. So you have to sign up SLAs with the Microsoft. So you can tell them 99 point what what kind of availability you want. Do you want 99% or 99.99%? So there are there are charges, different charges on that, but you can sign up SLA and your application can be highly available given the nature of uh, cloud computing. The second thing is scalability. Scalability is you set up your applications, and if initially you planned your application for 1,000 users and suddenly your application became a hit. Now million users are using. Can your application scale? In scaling, there are two type of scaling. Vertical scaling. Vertical scaling is, say, you keep the number of computers same, but you increase the processing power, CPUs. Horizontal scaling is you add more virtual machines, you add more containers. So Azure gives a benefit like you can set up auto scale. So based on the demand, it will automatically scale out. So reliability, as as already we discussed, is more reliable because like they have you have set up centers in different geographical locations, and there's a chance any if there's a some disruption in one geographical region, you can switch to the servers to the different regions. You can make sure your applications are working in different regions. Then it talks about performance, that because of auto scaling, load balancing, high availability, that helps support the performance predictability. Cost, they give you some calculators to find out what is the cost of your applications. And again, since you deployed benefits of security and governance is that since you deployed applications over the cloud, you don't have to worry about the patches, security patches, latest patches. They will apply for you. So they make sure you're following good governance rules, good security practices. So these are the basic of basic of cloud computing. That's the management of on the cloud. Again, it same thing, automatically scale resources based on the need, uh, deploy resources on pre-configured template. They give you a tools where you can monitor the health of your resources, virtual machines, your applications, and you can also receive automatic alerts. How you can manage today, since we are doing Azure Administrator Associate you certification. So it's a good point to we will switch to now Azure Admin Associate. So you can do manage your resources through web portal using command line interface, using APIs and PowerShell. So as part of Azure Administrator Associate certification, we'll go through about command line interfaces today. Let me go to the next section of our presentation today. So today, so as part of Azure Admin Associate, we'll follow this course provided by Microsoft. So today we will cover this section, prerequisites for Azure Administrator. Takes about a 1 hour 33 minutes. In this section, next meeting will go into manage identities and governance in Azure. So in prerequisite, we will be talking about Azure Cloud Shell. In Azure Cloud Shell, also we will be talking about introduction to the Bash and introduction to the PowerShells. So first thing comes, what is Azure Cloud Shell? It's a browser accessible command line experience for managing Azure resources. So a question to everybody in this meeting, I'm sure you are all aware of command line interfaces. You must have worked some kind of
Yes.
DOS. Okay, awesome. So it talks
We are
about little bit. Yes, Aditya.
yes aware about command line interface. We have
Yes, yes.
used.
So everybody is aware of that. So we'll go through quickly through this section. It talks about Azure Cloud Shell. So the benefit of Azure Cloud Shell is from anywhere you can access the Azure Cloud Shell. All you need is a browser and connectivity to Azure. You don't need a physically access to the machine to access your console and manage all the resources. Basically, through the browser, you can manage the resources. So what is Azure Cloud Shell? It's a command line environment you can access through your web browser. You can use this environment to manage Azure resources, including virtual machines, storage, and networking. Because as Microsoft manages Cloud Shell, you always has access to the latest version of Azure CLI and PowerShell. You don't have to worry keeping modules on the date. So that's what PowerShell they make sure you have the latest version since it's hosted on Azure. And also it provides cloud storage to persist file, SSH keys, scripts, and more. We'll look into a little bit later how we can do that. There are exercises. So here, like how the Cloud Shell works is you have to log in into Azure to access the Cloud Shell. We'll have exercises a little bit later. So you can access your own script files. I'm going through quickly. So it's talking about what are the Cloud Shell tools. For Linux, you have Bash. We will be going through the Bash more. Azure CLI and where is PowerShells. The source controller uses Git. So next, it talks about when you should use Azure Cloud Shell. You want to open a secure command line session from any browser, interact with Azure resources without need to install any plugin or add-ins to your devices. You want to persist file between sessions for later use. You want to use either Bash or PowerShell, and you want to edit files. And what is when you should not use Azure Cloud Shell? If you intend to leave a session more than 20 minutes, then you should not use. If you need admin permissions such as sudo access, then you should not. If you need to install tools that are not supported in the limited Cloud Shell environment, you should not. If you need storage from different regions, then again, it cannot do that. If you need to open multiple sessions at the same time, you can't do. There will be only one session open at one time. Okay, now we will go through the bash. So it talks about in this module we will learn what are shells and what is bash is and syntax, commands, and we'll do some exercises. So Bash is a vital tool for managing Linux machines. The short name is Born Again Shell. Shell is a program that commands the operating system to perform actions. You can enter commands in a console on your computer or run the commands directly, or you can use scripts to run batch of commands. Shells like PowerShell and Bash give system administrators the power and precision they need for fine-tuned control of the computers they are running for. So, like the Bash is very popular for Linux. It means it's based on three fundamentals. Is which is like Unix. The three fundamentals are in Unix are programs do one thing and do it very well. Programs work together. Program use text streams as a universal interface. So what you're saying is Bash in Unix and Linux everything is file. So do you don't have to worry about where your input output stream is coming. Is it coming from keyboard, disk, sock, pipe, IO? So right now it may not make sense when we will talk about PowerShell. What is the difference between Bash and PowerShell? This will make sense. So it talks about the Bash commands, ls for showing what is inside the directory. Uh, I'll go through quickly here. Means we'll be doing exercises and there will look into more in details. And but most of them are similar to DOS. If have you worked on DOS like make directory, mkdir, same like DOS, you can use wildcards. L ls commands to see the contents of current directory, and you can use flags to /a to see all the hidden files. Cat to if you want to see what is inside the text file. Sudo command to get admin permission, and cd if you want to go to some directory, make directory, remove directory, remove command, cp command copies not just file but entire subdirectory. That's amazing. PS commands if you want to see all the processes which are running. W command. A W command is users. If you want to see who are the users who are logged in, these are different operators. If you want to send the output to the text file, this is the operator to do. It supports pipe, pipe operator. So enough talks. Let's do an exercise. So I already have logged in. So it's before login, it's asking me to authenticate who I am. So it's giving me a puzzle. I have to match the number of rocks with the left. Okay. So validation complete. Oh, it's preparing the sandbox. So it's preparing the sandbox. Here we will be able to enter the commands and do hands-on exercise. Okay. So we are ready. It says type AZ to use Azure CLI. Okay. So we are all set to start our exercises. So ls commands to list all the files and subdirectories in current current directory. So we have one folder, cloud drive. PWD stands for print working directory. Let's see what is our working directory. So slash home Vikas Keni is my working directory. So I want to see all the hidden files. So with ls, I can give a flag -a. So here it's showing me all the files I have in my directory. So dot refers to the current directory, dot refers to the parent directory. So wherever we are, if we print all the files, we'll see one dot and two dots. One dot, two dot, and one dot is all the files in our directory. So bash history is a special file where all commands you enter are stored. I'll show you how it uses the history to go previous command, next command. And bash underscore logout is another special file that is read and run every time a sign in shell exists. Linux super users can modify to customize your environment. And third file is bash rc. It's a configuration file. You should never mess with that. So we talked about there's a history file. Why we need history file? So you see, gives example. Suppose we have to give a command like this. So it's a very difficult command, and let me give a wrong directory, wrong file, wrong command. So no file. So it's a very difficult to type in whole command. Um, let's we did some mistake. We want to go back in the history. So let's give a good command. I should have given first a good command. Let me give a good command first. I did a mistake. So okay, I did a mistake, but instead of typing again, I can go back to the history by pressing the up command, fix the issue. 2000 your commands. Okay, so now we can see the output. So this is the benefit of history. I can go back, see the commands. So another cool feature is it give autocomplete autocomplete. So also we'll you see the use of cat command, catenate command, where we can see the log. So I want to see the log of this file. It's very hard to type whole thing. So what I can do is cat -a. I hit the tab key. It completes for me. So I'll complete. Let me enter. Let hit tab command 2020 01 29 dot 21 56 35 30. Tab has stopped working for me. 103. I'll type the whole thing right now. tab. Let's see tab. No, doesn't work. Commands tab 2020 01 tab 29 tab 21 tab. Did I do some mistake in typing? 21 56 dot 35. Hey Aditya, did I do any time mistake in typing?
Just
Let
trying.
I'll try one more time. 103 log. No, okay. Another thing I can do is copy and paste here. Hmm,
Copy paste working.
that is interesting. This file is saying doesn't exist. Let me see. Okay, so these are our file on the top. Okay, okay. Cat Azure commands. I'm copying from the 2024. Okay, dash 01 0128 4 4. Okay, now it worked. So I think this file doesn't exist in my directory. So what I was showing is like using tab, you can complete the command. But if there are multiple files with same name, so suppose login, so it won't identify. So it will identify only the unique part of the file. So that's another feature. Another after that cat, we can use man to bring more inform. If we want to see what cat does, we can use man, and it tells us about cat command, what are the different flags for that command. Change directory, more. Okay, let's change directory. I want to go to first enter this, can make sure we are the right place. Cd command pwd, where I am is showing this is my folder. Let's go to different folder. Sorry. So now I have moved to different directory. Let's go to one level up. So from commands folder, I have gone to parent folder, which is Azure. So that finishes our first exercise of the day. Now we'll do another exercise where we'll create a bad process, which is running in a loop endlessly. And we'll see how to kill the process using the bash. So let's see, we are at the right place. And VI is using VI editor. We are going to create this file, bad Python file. So this is how we using code editor in bash. I will copy the code and paste it here. The code is copied. After that, I need to press escape and hit enter and need to press WQ. The bad file is created. So let's run our bad file, which is an endless loop. So our file is running. Now we know it's a bad process which is taking a lot of CPU processing. We need to kill it. So this is a command to see what are the PS is a command to see what are the different processes which are running. Let me copy PS this command and copy paste it here. So this is going to show these are the files. So bad file, we can see it's taking 99% of the CPU time, CPU. So we need to kill this process. How do we kill this process? So this is a command kill.l. So kill.l, I think will tell us, it's showing we us what are the different options. So for us, we have to use the ninth one, kill the ninth one. So the command will be kill 9, and we have to use the process ID. Process ID is our bad 1192. 92. Okay, so we kill the process and let's run the command again. So we see we don't see that bad process running anymore. The last exercise is suppose as a admin you want to see the virtual machines in the West US region of Azure. So this is a command. Let me copy this command and paste it here. So we can see it's showing all the virtual machines which are running in West US region of Azure. So I'm interested only files which have some DS in the string. So I want to filter the virtual machines which has some DS keyword in the name. Let me copy and paste. So we can see it has given the list of all the files, all the virtual machines which has DS in the name. So still there are a lot of virtual machines. Suppose we want to more filter on based on V2 we want all the V2 files which are ending with V2. So here it gives us list of all the virtual machines which has V2 in the name as the last. So that concludes our bash. Let's go to now PowerShell. So as a admin, I think we'll be using a lot of command line. So this is a important session. So let's go to introduction to PowerShell. So everybody has a idea. Everybody has used PowerShell. I know what it is. I couldn't hear you, anyone.
Yes, I have used PowerShell.
Awesome. So, PowerShell consists of two parts, a command line shell and scripting languages. It started out as a framework to automate administrative tasks in Windows. PowerShell has grown into cross-platform tools that are used many kind of tasks. I know command line doesn't have graphical interface, but it's great for automations. So it's faster than using graphical interface. You can run batches. Uh, you can use a console to interact with cloud resources and others. You can store command and scripts in test file and use a source control system. So what are the features? It has built-in help system. It gives a pipeline, aliases, alternate names that can be used to run commands. The PowerShell is different than traditional shells. It operates on objects over text. It has also known as commandlets. Also in uh, also it has lot of it is built on .NET Core. So we'll do our exercise on PowerShell. Activate sandbox. For PowerShell is activating the different one.
We used PowerShell to for Windows update. We wrote some script to update Windows latest update.
Beautiful. I think and this is interesting. I can run the command here. Copy. Doesn't work. So I have to sign in different interface. I have to switch between this interface and that one. Okay. Mhm. Okay, my PS PowerShell. So let me paste my command PS version table. So it's showing the PowerShell version. Let me, I think I lost the screen. Yeah, I lost the screen. Wow, I have to switch between this screen and other screen. This is how it works. So let me copy PS version. So this gonna give me, tell me which version I'm running in more details. So I'm running the PowerShell commands. It's showing what is the major, minor, and patch 745. Locate commands. Commandlet is a compiled command. It can be developed in .NET or .NET Core and invoked as a command in the PowerShell. Get verb. Let's run the get verb. Yeah, it's showing all the verbs for the command. Locate commands using. So if I want to find all the commands which has, let me, the known flag targets name related to known. This is a typical search for name using alias. So let me run this command. So get command known alias. All the commands which has alias in their name is showing me the list of those commands. Dot verb. I want if as we saw there are different verbs. Get all the, if let me go back. There are so many verbs for each command. Command can be resumed, starts, paused, suspended. So we are interested only in the get command for all areas. So let me copy this one. So get the command which has get key verb, and this is the only one. So it showed me which is the command I can find out the commands which I'm interested. Run the command with noun, specify file to find anything related to files. Let's run this one. So here we got the all the commands which has file in the name. Export file, get file hash, out file, unblock file. Again, if I were interested only get file hash, all the commands, PowerShell commands, which for the get verb, I can use that. So here I got the file hash. So that concludes our session for today. So everybody share your thoughts. How you guys thought? How was our today's session? Any suggestions? Means PowerShell. Should I have given more basics information? Like my focus was more on exercises than theory. So yeah. share your thoughts, everybody. What you thought about the session today?
It was a great session. So let's continue this session at a regular basis.
Awesome, awesome. You are mute, Karin. We cannot hear you.
Here we go. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I agree, that it was a good session and just a reminder of like, really kind of going back over PowerShell and PowerShell is really powerful if you know how to use it. So for me, it's like a good reminder
Mm-hmm.
of, the benefits, that come behind it. So I think the lessons are really great.
Amazing. So, any the format was good, or like anything more we should talk about basics, or uh, what do you think about the format was good?
I think because in the beginning you kind of covered like some of the basics of what PowerShell is used for.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think there's so much more Vikas that can be covered.
So
You
covered.
know, so I think
Very true.
it's just like nuggets at a time, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. So next session we'll be talking about more managed identities and governance in Azure. So see you guys in next session. Have a nice weekend. Thank you very much for
Uh,
joining. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.